What is educational psychology? Meaning, nature, scope, role of educational psychology in teaching learning process. Psychology. The science of psychology. The word psychology comes from Greek word psyche, which means mind or soul, and logos, which means study. So it is study of mind. The establishment of psychology as a science based on a careful observation, and that takes place in 1879 by William Wundt, who was a German philosopher and who had studied medicine and physiology and founded the first psychological laboratory in Leipzig. What is psychology? Psychology has passed through many stages. Psychology is study of man inside man. So earlier definition was psychology is a study of man inside man. According to this definition, women were not to be studied, so this definition was rejected. Then psychology as a science of soul. Psychology was considered to be the part of the considered to be the study of the soul. Soul was considered to be a being of nature radically different from the material things, incapable of perceived by the sense, but only to be grasped by the intellect. It is not possible to conduct any experimentation and observation. So psychology as a science of soul could not progress much because there arose of controversy regarding the nature, location and function of soul. Then psychology is a science of mind. In 18th century, the psychology was considered as a study of mental process. In fact, psychology is made of the two words psyche, which means mind, and logi, which means talk of or science of. But again, a number of unanswerable questions arose, and this simply show that confusion and ignorance about the nature of science. Then psychology is science of consciousness. When psychologist fails to define soul and mind, clearing them, they give the concept of science of consciousness. Then psychology is science of behavior. We can study only what we observe, and good behavior is only one aspect of person. That is observation. Woodward described that behavior is a collective name of a various type of activities. Now definitions. According to the Garrett, psychology is study of human behavior and its subject matter is what people do and how and what they do. According to the Skinner, psychology is science of behavior and experience. According to Woodworth, first psychology lost its soul, then it finds its mind, and then it's lost in consciousness and is still what behavior of a kind. MC Doggle say psychology is a positive science of conduct and behavior. Now we'll study what is educational psychology. Educational psychology is that branch of applied psychology which study the application of conclusion of theoretics, and psychology is the process of education and teaching. Education psychology is focused upon the human behavior. It is the body fact information that has resulted from observation and investigation. Educational psychology is the systemic study of an individual within the educational settings. Education psychology deals with the application of psychological principle techniques to the human beings and in educational situations. What is the meaning and definition of educational psychology? According to the B.F. Skinner, educational psychology deals with the behavior of human beings in educational situations. According to the P. Educational psychology deals with the nature of learning, growth of human personality, difference in between the individuals and study of person in relation and society. According to the Crow and Crow, educational psychology describe and explain the learning experience of an individual from birth through old age. What is nature of educational psychology? The nature of educational psychology are as under an applied science. It is an applied science because it is the application of psychological principle to the field of education. It is a positive science. Educational psychology is a positive science and not a normative science. This means that it does not just explain the educational fact as they are and does not pass judgments over them. Thus, it studies the laws of child nature as they are and has nothing to do with the out to be. It is a social science. Though educational psychology studies an individual from the educational point of view, its results are applicable to all individuals or at least to a group of individuals. Thus, this science is now social implication. Educational science. It is a specific science, it is a practical science, and growing and developing science and academic discipline. The scope of educational psychology. According to the Crow and Crow, the subject matter of education psychology is concerned with conditions that affect learning. Scope of educational psychology: growth and development, classroom learning or learning process, study of behavior, individual differences, intelligence and measurement, group dynamics, guidance and counseling, methods of teaching and teacher, construction of the curriculum, educational administration, research studies, mental hygiene of the child. This is the growth and development, classroom learning or the learning process, study of the behavior, individual differences, intelligence and measurement. This is the group dynamics. Then we have guidance and counseling, methods of teaching the teacher, construction of the curriculum. Then educational administration, research and studies, mental hygiene of the child. Now, what is the role of the educational psychology in the teaching learning process? Learning is often defined as a relatively a permanent change in the behavior. According to the clerk, support this statement and said that teaching activities that are desired and performed to produce desired change in pupils' behavior. Impact on theoretical basis. Educational psychology help teacher in the realization of the aims of the education. Less emphasis on the effective learning process. Character development, individual differences, understanding the teaching method, new concepts of discipline, understanding the mental hygiene, and helping teachers to know himself. Impact on the practical basis. Helpful in organizing the curriculum, use of audio visual aids, timetable framing, provision for co-curricular activities, production of suitable textbook, use of innovative projects, democratic administration and management,